We are tracking the northern lights, and you are looking live at the sky. This is over the University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Not as awesome as it was a few minutes ago. The aurora borealis has been coming and going throughout the night.
I see a green glow.
I definitely see it.
Yeah.
At 5:15 though this morning, the northern lights were just popping with Christmas-themed red and green lighting up the sky. Ashlee told us Tuesday morning about the possibility of seeing it, and boom, people get a good chance.
Right. This time yesterday morning, we were thinking maybe a G3 storm, but then it ended up being elevated to a G4.
Oh, wow.
G5 is the highest. And so, yeah, we did have a spectacular showing through the overnight. There's still a chance to take it in tonight if you didn't see it, which some folks in Metro Detroit likely didn't because of the cloud cover. So let's break this down for you. I know there are a lot of numbers I'm going to throw at you, so I'm going to try to really break it down. But overnight, we were to see a KP index close to 9. That put us in a G4 category, which means that the viewing went as far south as what you would think would be just about St. Louis. But in fact, we're seeing pictures now that this was popping all the way down into portions of Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. So the KP is part of how far south we will see that viewing. As far as the chance for tonight, when you look at the KP index and you also look at what we call coronal mass ejections, and that's going to be energy coming from the sun, we think that there are going to be 3, and we are in the midst of the first 2. So there's a chance once again tonight. Before we talk about that, recapping what we saw last night, some red pillars in Saline. This was a My Pic photo taken through the overnight tonight, last night, I should say, in Saline, but down in Clayton, some spectacular color. We had both the red and the green. The farther south you went, the better the viewing, just because the cloud cover was thicker the farther north. So kind of the opposite of what you would think when it comes to the northern lights. This photo taken down into Marion, Illinois, which is right by St. Louis, Missouri, and we had the red pillars there as well. So it was a spectacular viewing in the night sky. As far as tonight, we're forecasting another 8 for today. That's more in the daylight hours, but we still could be in what we would call that G3 storm rating by tonight, which would take viewing down to our state line, meaning southeastern Michigan, especially with some clearing cloud cover tonight, could see more of the aurora borealis. We'll break down the timeline for you. And so I would say the peak of this is potentially going to be midday, but once we get past sunset, we're still likely looking at about a 7. So I'd keep your eyes to the night sky just after sunset when it gets really dark. Look to the north and try to get away from light pollution across the area. 36 right now at Metro Airport, 41 in Howell, 39 in Pontiac, 37 in Adrian. Southwesterly winds close to about 10 miles per hour, keeping us a little milder this morning compared to where we've been the last couple of mornings. We're still picking up a few sprinkles along and north of about I-69 between Sandusky and Port Huron. So you might encounter a couple little stray light showers today to our north. Rest of us just holding onto the cloud cover throughout the day before those clouds break later on this evening. 46 degrees for the afternoon high, so it's about 5 degrees below average, but still, we're better than the 30s that we've been stuck in. Winds will be peaking around 30 miles per hour with the gusts today, which will translate to those feels like temperatures in the 30s near 40, so it will feel a little cooler than what the thermometer's telling you. But as we look at the rest of the day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon is when there's that spotty rain chance to our north. Then we peel back those clouds tonight, which could result in some good viewing for the northern lights. Quick look at what's ahead. We do have a chance for some passing showers late Saturday, but the good news is that'll be out by about midnight, keeping us drier, yet a little windy on Sunday. We flirt with 60 over the weekend, but then there's the reality check early next week. Upper 40s come Monday and Tuesday.
Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
All right, here are your 3 takeaways when it comes to your weather story, because we're starting to track a change in the pattern, which I think a lot of folks will breathe a sigh of relief that we're not waking up below the freezing mark this morning. So if we were to see any precipitation, it's mainly going to be to our north, and it will be in the form of rain because we're above freezing. So a few sprinkles possible throughout the day into the thumb. But we're all going to encounter some gusty winds, and those could peak around 30 miles per hour today. So it'll be slightly warmer but windy for this Wednesday. But we're even warmer as we round out the work week. We'll be back in the 50s possibly as early as tomorrow, and certainly into the weekend. We even welcome back some sunshine tomorrow. But for now, we have the clouds hanging tight. You can see the camera over at Metro Airport shaking a bit as those winds are picking up. 37 degrees at DTW, Ann Arbor 37, Lapeer 41, and 37 in Monroe. So either side of 40 right now, and we will rise only a few more degrees, getting in the mid, maybe upper 40s by this afternoon. And those few sprinkles will be pretty much, I would say, along or north of M59, and they're very isolated. Clouds hang tight through the daylight hours, and then they break into the evening. So talking about those winds, those gusts will be close to 30 miles per hour in the earlier part of the afternoon. And that will translate to some of those feels like temperatures only being in the 30s today. Areas that do get into the upper 40s, maybe that wind chill will be right around 40 degrees, and we will have wind chill readings in the 20s throughout the evening. Our next weather maker will likely arrive late Saturday. So for your Thursday, Friday, we're trending dry, but you can see by Saturday afternoon, we're starting to pull some moisture in. Now, this is a long-range model. We're not in the window yet of the high-resolution data, so this moisture could be very much more of the spotty, scattered variety. Those long-range models always kind of overdo how much rain it looks like we're going to have. It just shows the moisture that'll be in the area. That then pushes down out of here by the time we get past midnight on Saturday and will tee us up for a drier Sunday. So even though we're going to be close to 60 Sunday and trending drier, we're still going to be windy. So if you're looking to clear the leaves, we'll look at that in a second when the most opportune time is to do that. We will have another rainmaker arriving probably by the time we get in the later part of your Tuesday. So the wind forecast, very much calm Friday, but then it starts to pick back up for the second half of the weekend. Holiday decorating, dry seasonal Friday. I think that's a great day to get outside, hang the lights, or do some raking for that matter. Saturday, we will be warm. The rain arrives late, so I think that if you do want to get outside, a good chunk of the daylight hours will be okay. Then Sunday, we're windy. There's that slight chance for the rain north, but I think just otherwise windy conditions will make it okay. If you're going to be up on a ladder, you want to consider that. 7-day forecast, we're close to 60 this weekend. I won't rule out some suburbs hitting 60 degrees. Then we get that reality check. So Monday and Tuesday of next week, highs in the upper 40s with a mix of sun and clouds.